Hi all, and welcome to an all levels class. My name is Jolynn, and today you'll need 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket if you have it, and if you don't have any of them, you'll be fine as well. So yesterday I was at Target and shopping for Valentine's Day for my daughters, and a couple of things got left at the cashier stand that didn't make it into my bag. So I got home and I was hiding everything, and they weren't there. So I called Target and asked them if they were still there. They said yes, stop in and get them, they'll be at customer service. So I went in on one of the 30 trips by Target yesterday and went in to grab the extra stuff that didn't make it into my bag. So I took my receipt, I took my ID, I took my Target card, and she went to the back to get it. And I was like, thank you so much. Do you need my receipt or anything? She's like, oh my gosh, no, but thank you for being so nice. Here, let me give you a $5 gift card. The stuff I was picking up was only worth $10. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. She said, no, you're the first person that's been nice to me today. Oh, that made me so sad. Oh, people, be kind, choose kind. Whatever you can choose kindness, right? So I'd like to share a little quote from Leo Buscaglia to start the practice today. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which we have the potential to turn a life around. So I was glad I could be a little bit of a light to that woman at Target, but really we have to think about how we're engaging with people every day, especially now, with masks on and everything, really welcoming in whatever is coming at us and being generous with our hearts, because we just don't know what somebody's story is in that moment. And starting with ourselves too, right? And being right here, this is a good place to start. So let's start on our bellies, and we will turn our head to the awkward side first. So bring the knuckles of your hands down to face the earth. Turn your head to one side and start right there. Let your shoulders drape towards the floor. Relax everything as much as you can. And take a nice big breath in and out. And then turn your head to the other side, which is probably your awkward side. Again, relax as much as you can here. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And then either stacking your hands and placing your forehead on your hands, or maybe coming into a long sphinx or a proper sphinx with elbows under the shoulders. Begin to kick that leg out. Whatever gaze you were turned towards, keep that leg out and hang out there for a couple breaths. Get really heavy on that bent knee hip. So maybe your leg looks like a 90-degree angle. Maybe it looks more like tree pose. Whatever it is in this moment is exactly how it should be. And then begin to tuck that leg back in and shimmy your hips a bit and take it to the other side. So either coming to somewhat of a half frog or tree, whatever it looks like. And again, maybe a long sphinx or stacked hands, or bringing those elbows right up to sphinx pose. Let that bent knee hip get really heavy, working it down towards the floor. And take a long breath in and out here. Let your heart shine forward. And then slowly release. Hug your knee back into center. Take a proper sphinx pose now with elbows underneath the shoulders. Or if you need it to be a little longer, as you start to practice, let it be a little longer. Feel your toenails hug the earth, your kneecaps lift, your quads engage. Your belly button reaches back towards the spine, and soften your heart forward, shoulder blades back. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll do some simple cobra rolls from here. So roll the shoulders back, elbows in, and stretch your chest forward a bit, just a little bit, and then lower it down. Do that again. Inhale, lift and draw the heart forward. And exhale, bring it back down. And one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Curl your toes, stretch back to a puppy pose. So float your hips over your knees and walk your hands forward for a breath or two. Begin to rise up to a down dog, or maybe shift to table. If you're coming to table instead of dog, move through a few rounds of cat and cow. If you're coming to full dog, come along with me. Rise up onto your tippy toes and then bend your knees and stretch long from the hands to the sitting bones. Maybe your ribs touch your thighs. And then stretch back through the heels, hamstrings, and calves. Do that again. Rise up to the tiptoes and bend your knees. If you're still in table, keep moving through cat-cow. Maybe you want to join us for this last down dog here. Stretch back into the heels. So here we go for the third round. You can stick with your cat-cow from table or meet us in dog. Rise up onto the tiptoes. Cover your knees. Let your ribs come back towards your thighs. And then stretch back through the heels, hamstrings, and calves. Rise back up to the tiptoes, bend your knees, hop or lightly step yourself forward to forward bend. Grab those blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. If you don't have blocks, doesn't matter. Let your hands come to the earth. Just bend your knees a little more. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to let go. Root down, rise with your breath. Inhale. Interlace your palms at the top and stretch up through the index finger knuckle, bow to the left. And bring it back to center and bow to the right. Bring it back to center, hands come back to the heart. Come up to the top of your mat, lift and spread your toes. Inhale, reach wide and up. Lead with a heart forward bend. Halfway lift, step back with your left foot. Coming down to low lunge, pause right there. Take a few breaths here. And then lift that back knee, keeping the left hand down, raise your right arm for a twist. Squeeze your feet together, draw your heart wide open, take a breath here. And then release your hand, step yourself to a three-legged dog, or maybe release your knee and come back to three-legged table if that works better for you. Whichever option is working, maybe take a little bend, twist, and open. Open up your side body and your hips. Lengthen long, we'll step in again to high lunge. Maybe grab those blocks. This time lengthen your leg. So maybe some dynamic movement here. Bend and stretch. Maybe sticking with that static stretch. Just hold the leg long. Ooh. And we'll step into forward fold, bend the right knee, step left to right. Halfway lift, inhale. Let it go, exhale, root down, rise with the breath, interlace your palms, stretch up. Take that little bend to the right. Come back to center and take a little bend to the left. Come back to center, hands to the heart. Big sun breath, inhale, reach wide and up. Lead with the heart, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, this time the right foot steps back, right knee drops down, lunge, pause right there. Settle into your low lunge with the knee on the floor, left knee over the heel. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Lift that right knee now, take a little twist. So the right hand stays down, left arm rises, heel open from the right hand all the way up to the left hand. Take a big breath. Lower your hand down. Step back, three-legged table or three-legged dog. Again, maybe bend, twist, and open. Stack the left hip over the right. Extend your legs, send it through, coming into high lunge. Hands on the blocks or on the earth. Stretch your left leg long, Parsvottanasana. You can see my back heel is away from the floor. And that's fine, especially if you're moving through some dynamic movement, so keeping it going. If you're finding that static stretch, if you feel better stepping that back foot in, step the back foot in. Take another breath here. And bend flow through, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Maybe not. Maybe just coming back to a dog pose. And bring it all the way back. All these transitions can be done from table as well. So don't be afraid to drop your knees to the floor and use your blocks. Right leg extends, three-legged dog. Curl in, step through, high lunge twist. Left hand down, right arm rises. Take a breath in here. Bring your right hand to the inside of your foot. Now you can take your blocks along with you. We're walking all the way to the back of the mat. Pop those right toes up and deeply bend your left knee. And we're just going to pulse a little into this side lunge. Make some space. Active through the adductors and the toes of that right foot. Take another breath in and out here and walk yourself back to the top of the mat. Three-legged dog, bend, twist, and open. Step that right foot to the outside of the mat. Turn your toes right. So we want it to step about halfway up. Spin the pinky edge of the left foot down, wide open for a supported side plank. Driving into the right heel, pushing out through the left foot. Take a nice long breath in here. Woo, feels really good. And then bring it back to the floor. Flow through or meet me in downward facing dog. Left leg rises, three-legged dog, bend, twist, and open. Extend your legs, square your hips, step through, high lunge twist, right hand down, left arm rises. Take a breath here, bring your hands to the inside of your foot. Skandasana, back of the mat, right knee deeply bends, left toes pop up. Pause right here, activate those toes, make some space. Little pulsing in this back knee. And then bring it back around to the top of the mat. Lunge, three-legged dog, then twist and open. Stack the left hip over the right. This time the left foot steps to the wide edge of the mat and about halfway up. Turn your toes to the left. Spin to the pinky edge of the right foot. Find your supported side plank. So pushing out through the sole of the right foot, down into the heel of the left to lift your hips. Engage your core and spread your wings super wide. Take a breath here. And begin to release. This time we'll step forward into a wide leg forward fold. Bend your knees deeply, maybe ragdoll, hands to opposite elbows. Maybe a little sway here. Oh, nice. Bring your hands on up to your hips and rise up to stand. Reach your arms all the way up and return your hands to your heart. Find your Tadasana again. And we'll find a little balance pose here. So lift and spread the left toes. Bring your right knee away from the floor, find a focal point. So maybe you can take a twist, bringing your left hand to your thigh, right hand to your hip. Maybe you want to keep your gaze forward and just work with balance and not add the twist. And these are all good options. And take another breath here. If you're twisted, unwind, hands to the hips, and step all the way back. High lunge, pause right here, up with the hands on the hips. Nice deep breath in and out here. Bring your hands down to the blocks. Grab the block that's on the outside of the left foot and bring it right by the left heel. Dial the right heel down, stretch the left leg long in line with the foot. Sweep your arm open to triangle. Get really long from the left hand to the right. Draw your throat and your ears back. Drag your feet slightly apart. Might not be the deepest triangle of your life, but let it be the most heart open triangle, at least of your day. Take a nice easy breath in here. Keep drawing the throat back, rolling the ribs open. One more breath in and out here. Take it back to the floor. Bend your knee, find a twist, left arm rises. Pop that right heel up. Set the blocks to the side, find a three-legged dog. Left leg rises. Take a breath here, draw your knee in, and send your left foot between your right hand and your right foot. Bring your right hand to your heart, slide into wild thing. Lift your heart. Maybe you can send that right hand back. Throat back, ears back, one more breath. Exhale, release, three-legged plank. Flow through or don't. Meet me in dog pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Send the hips up and back, up on the tiptoes, knees bend. Hop, step, float, forward fold. Rise with your breath. Hands to the heart. Coming to the other side, lift and spread your right toes. And we'll lift that left knee again, maybe just to play with balance here. Maybe you can add the twist, bringing your right hand across your thigh, left hand to the hip. Take another breath, unwind if you have the twist. Bring your hands to your hips, and we'll take a big step back into lunge. Pause right here, head over the hips, nice deep bend in the right knee. Reach down for the block on the outside of your right foot. If you don't have a block, not a big deal. If you do, place it just outside of that right heel. Begin to stretch your right leg long and spin the left heel down. Sweep your left arm up, Trikonasana triangle pose. Again, get super spacious in the heart. Draw back through the ears and the throat, lay back. Drag your feet slightly apart. Easy breaths in and out. Like you're laying back and you've got this headrest behind you. Take another breath here. Bring your gaze down to the floor, knee in line with the center of the foot, and sweep it into a twist. So guiding that right hand up. Take a nice deep breath here. Bring your hand down and send that right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Take a breath. Bring your knee in, and we'll step that foot between the left hand and the left foot for wild thing. Begin to bring your left hand to your heart as you sweep the right leg to the left. Maybe take your left hand up and take the throat back, ears back. Take another breath here. Begin to sweep that left hand down, three-legged plank. Again, option to flow through or don't. Meet me in a dog pose. We'll all meet in puppy dog or in child's pose. And lift the hips all the way up and back. Come down, child or puppy. Begin to walk your hands in. We'll come to sit on that blanket if you have it. If you don't, again, not a big deal. For me, it just gives me a little height when I sit. So you'll need a block on either end of the mat. Strap. And that blanket. And again, if you don't have any of that, it's not a big deal. Extend your legs. And get on the front of the sitting bones. So roll the inner thigh down as you lift your seat on each side, and that'll help get you in front of the sitting bones, more towards the pubic bone than towards the tailbone. Fold the left foot in towards the right inner thigh, and we'll find a Janu Shirshasana twist, Parvita. So walk your hands out towards your heel. You can even use the strap on your foot if you prefer it. And keep extending your heart forward as if you could pin the left inner ribs towards the right inner thigh. Find a few nice breaths here. Settle in. Lead with the heart, so don't imagine getting the crown of your head towards your toes. Imagine getting your heart towards your toes. So you keep stretching from the waist to the ribs to the heart. And another breath. left toes down towards the floor and guide your right knee out a little wider than your wrist. Set yourself up here. Now if you have a blanket, you've got a blanket right there. You can just whoop, tuck it right underneath your hip if you need it. You also have a block, so if it's easier for you to bring your forearms to a block or your forehead to a block, do that. Let go of as much muscle energy as you can once you get that alignment. So finding a balance between the left and right side. You can curl or uncurl those left toes, but make sure they stay engaged, whatever option you took. You won't be here super long. Take one more breath in and out where you are. And then begin to walk your hands back in. You can place your hands on the block, you can have your hands further forward, but walk in and really squeeze the inner thighs together. Soften your shoulder blades, lift your heart up. Maybe your gaze, take another breath. Squeeze the inner thighs together, and then release some of that energy down. We're coming right back into that Janu Shirshasana, same side. So extend the right leg, fold the sole of the left foot in, and we'll take a little twist. So sitting up nice and tall, reach your arms up, and take the right hand over to your, or left hand to your right knee, right hand to the earth. And lift up through the chest and find a little twist first. And then take the back hand and reach over for your left toes. I think half of that I did opposite, and half of it I did normal, so I apologize for that. The second side, we'll just do everything to the second side. When I record a lot of classes, I kind of get confused sometimes. So take another breath in and out here, and then rise on up. And we'll switch sides. So bringing yourself, set my blanket up again, bring yourself to the other side. Extend your foot, fold the other foot in, take a breath, and turn your chest towards the extended leg to walk forward. Find your breath again. Imagine bringing those outside ribs in towards the inside thigh. Long breaths in and out. On your next breath, begin to rise up. We're going to take this bent knee wide again, coming into pigeon on the other side. So turn those toes down towards the earth and begin to shimmy your knee out wider than your hand. You've got the blanket there, so put it underneath your left hip. Extend back into the long leg. And just find some balance to your hips here. I was actually really amazed at how well everyone did shifting to each side and finding balance in the hips. It's not a usual entry point into pigeon, but they did a really great job with it today. So maybe bringing forearms to a block or to the earth, finding that balance and then letting go. Now that you know you're in great alignment, just soften into it. Again, take out some of that muscle energy. So back toes curled or uncurled, but commit to the choice. So either pressing into your toenails or into curled toes. Take one more breath here. Begin to rise up onto your fingertips. And again, that might mean your fingertips are really far forward because this is where your spine is and your low back is today. Maybe you can really hug the low belly in and come up a little bit higher. Squeeze your inner thighs together so you feel like your hips are lifted. Take a breath in and out here. Maybe lift the heart, lift the gaze, just all bus stops today. Not a command, simply a suggestion. And then release some of that energy in the hips. We're turning back around to Janu Shirshasana again. So extend your long leg. Fold the sole of the foot in. And we'll take a twist first. So bringing your hand to your bent knee, opposite hand to bent knee. And then lift that back hand as if you could reach for the toes on the long leg. So taking a big arcing side bend. Breathe into these top ribs. And take another breath in and out, settle in. And slowly begin to rise up. Nice. And then extend both legs for a wide leg seat. This time, do grab your loop. Take your legs out. Got that little pelvic tilt with the blanket if you have the blanket. If not, just get as far forward on your sit bones as you can get. And then loop the strap on the balls or arches of your feet. Hold close to the feet and begin to send your chest forward. Be really mindful about unlocking both knees though. Don't let your legs extend too long that they hyperextend. So find a little bend in the knees and offer your heart towards the center of that strap. Not your head, your heart. Oh, that feels so good. Keep your spine long, ease into it. Keep a soft bend to both knees. And with your next breath, hug your belly in and slowly rise up. Oh, nice. Keep the loop. Keep the blocks. Hands behind the knees to guide the bend into your knees. Bring yourself to the top of your mat again and place both blocks there. Last back bend of the practice here, maybe. So place the blocks hip width apart up here. Place your feet on the blocks. Snuggle your booty close to the blocks, setting up for bridge. Now the loop, the strap comes in handy, and we'll place that around the front of the ankles. So I'm going to scoop my booty way up and just have my strap handy there so it's easily reached. Maybe come down to your elbows to scoot your booty forward. If you've got super long feet, balls and heels of the feet are priority on the block. And then wiggle your spine down to the floor. So grab each side of the loop. You're going to use this as a little resistance here in your back bend. So grab each side of the loop it around your ankles. Press into your elbows and snuggle your shoulder blades beneath your heart. Pressing down into your feet, begin to lift your hips straight up. So this keeps a better alignment for the lumbar spine that doesn't like to curve, right? So snuggle your shoulders and let the curl come from the middle of the thoracic spine to the top chest. Really curl the top chest up towards your chin. Press down into the feet. Keep your low back pretty neutral here. Keep your knees in line with your hips. So if you feel like your knees are splaying way out, you might want a third block between your inner thighs. Otherwise, just keep snuggling the shoulders and working that thoracic spine into a soft back bend. Now for some of you, this might be too much. So you'll just tuck a block underneath your spine, or maybe your feet are on the floor if you don't have blocks. And that's all good too. If you're at home, you can put your feet on the lowest step of a set of stairs, and that'll work just like 2 blocks. Take one more deep breath here. Oh, yeah. And then slowly bring your elbows out a little bit and bring your hips down to meet the earth. Let go of the strap. And begin to draw your knees in towards your outer ribs or towards your shoulders. And find a little rock. Apanasana, knees to chest pose, knees to armpits pose in this case. Maybe find a happy baby pose. So let the soles of your feet look up, wrap your hands behind your thighs, keep your tailbone low. Or maybe peace fingers to the toes or hands to the outer edges of the feet. But only if you're not lifting yourself way up to get there. So keep your tailbone nice and low. If that means bringing your hands behind your thighs, do that. because we'll take a nice little rock here and massage the low back. And if your low back is away from the floor, that's not going to do you any good, right? So keep it really low, massage your low back. Again, if you have a little more space to give, you can grab the big toes or outer edges of your feet. Bring your feet and your knees together, and we'll grab a block. See how much dexterity you have with your feet here. Grab a block and tuck it underneath your low back. Be here in your supported bridge. And some of you may have taken this as the option anyway, instead of putting your feet on blocks. If this feels like the perfect place to land, do it. Be here. Do you, right? If you have the bandwidth and your spine says yes, and you can lengthen your legs, do that. Maybe take your arms above your head. A nice long arc. Find that easy, balanced breath. Oh, nice. Or stay in your supported bridge, or maybe float your feet above your hips for supported shoulder stand. Whatever feels like a really great, sweet ending for you today. Slowly begin to bring your feet back in. Hands back to center. Press down into your feet and remove that block. If there's a last bend or twist or stretch that makes sense, take it. Otherwise, find Shavasana. So lengthen your legs. Maybe you want to come into Supta Baddha, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Maybe supported fish with a block under your heart and a block underneath your head. So any of those options are lovely ones. Or you can just find that shape of an X on the earth, or legs apart, hands next to the hips. Close your eyes and reconnect to your breath. If you have more time to spend for Shavasana today, by all means, just stay. If you're moving on with your day, begin to connect to your breath and wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe draw your knees in for a hug or a simple rock. When you're ready, move to one side. And hang out there for a breath. Press down into the floor and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Close your eyes, rest your hands on your thighs, and sit well. This is called the guest house from Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows, violently sweep through your house, empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Draw your hands to your heart. Whether you're meeting yourself for the first time today and welcoming whoever showed up this morning in, or you're off the mat and you're at Target, or you're at the gas station, or you're at work or at school, Meet people where they are. Offer them a kindness. You never know how that could change their life or change their day. Thanks so much for welcoming me into your homes. I'm grateful to sit in the seat of teacher with each of you. In gratitude, namaste.